Hi, I'm Representative Muffy Davis with the Idaho State Legislative Update for the week of February 17th to February 21st, our seventh week here at the 2020 Idaho State Legislative Session. And it, again, was not a boring week, lots going on. The big things that are happening, or the big bills and big discussions this session, seem to be revolving around property tax. As many of you here in Idaho know, you've seen your property taxes going up quite a bit. And we know here at the legislature that there is a desperate need to find some way to reduce that property tax burden. Unfortunately, the thought at the legislature is that counties are, doing really well and they're living high. And unfortunately, we send down at least about 10 pages of different mandates that counties are required to perform or provide to the citizens. Unfortunately, we at the legislature, at the state level, are not willing to let those counties find other sources of funding. Only property tax is really their only solution to funding all those mandates that we send down. So this has, with the recent tax conformity bill from 2018 or 2017, I can't remember, 2018, I believe was when it was, you have noticed that your property taxes have grown, and there is now more pressure being put on individuals, especially those that are older on fixed incomes, and people that are just being forced or worried that they will lose their homes because of their inability to afford those taxes. So the legislature is really trying to work, or we realize this, and there have been a lot of talk about property taxes going on down at the legislature this year. Unfortunately, none of them are right now really a comprehensive approach. There are lots of different ideas that are being introduced by the majority party mostly that limit or really put a severe limitation on counties. One, which is House Bill 409, which has been on our third reading calendar for a couple of weeks. We have yet to debate it, but that bill aims to freeze property taxes for a year. And now the challenge that will do is that counties are still given their mandates that the services that they have to provide, fees and costs are continuing to rise. They don't freeze. Employment costs, as well as cost of living, everything still continues to rise, and those services are still there. Property taxes are the only means for these counties to provide those mandates and those services, and they have all reached out to us throughout the state. Almost all counties are saying this bill is not going to work, will really seriously harm their ability to provide the services that they are mandated to their citizens. So I know there's still a lot of talk going on. We, again, have not debated it. It's been sitting on the third reading calendar, so we will see what happens there. There are a couple other property tax and sales tax bills that have been going through. Nothing yet, though, that fully deals with the challenge and the need. And we know that there are some great potential bills out there. Representative Sally Toon has a good bill to deal with our sales tax that we collect on internet sales, which is fairly new. You might realize that about a year ago we implemented that, and you now pay taxes on anything that you buy through the internet. And all of those taxes that are coming in are just going into a account that are not being dispensed back to counties, back to the citizens. That account is going to sit there for 5 years, and then eventually the goal is to give it for tax relief. But right now people need that relief. And so Sally Toon has a great bill to revenue share those taxes back the way that we do all sales tax. And unfortunately, she's not been able to get a hearing on that in the Rev and Tax Committee. There's also another bill coming forward, hopefully soon, that will increase the circuit breaker for those that are the most needy, the lowest income, with disabilities, or that needs assistance in paying for their property taxes. So we're going to keep an eye out for those. But just know there's a lot of discussion going on property taxes, but we have yet to see the right solution. And it is a complex issue and will entail kind of a comprehensive overhaul in order to solve it and make sure that there are no winners and losers. In the health and welfare, we did see a bill, House Bill 533, which is the one that purports to how we are going to fund Medicaid expansion, and it is passing that expense down to the counties. Again, another mandate that would be coming down from the state. Unfortunately, I disagree with this bill. There is money. There has been money in the state. We are doing well. We just voted to put $20 million into savings again, additionally, which is way more than what would be needed for the state's share or the county's share to fund this. And so we're going to be watching this. We haven't even had a debate in it in our Health and Welfare Committee yet, but it was introduced, and you can go read that. It's House Bill 533. We had a great bill introduced, House Bill 538, which is to start licensing or permitting or businesses that sell electronic smoking devices, and trying to get a handle on who out there in Idaho is selling those Juuls or the e-cigarettes or those electronic smoking devices, and starting to figure out how many people they are so we can regulate it and minimize the vaping issue that we have here in Idaho youth. It is definitely a crisis going on. We are higher than the national average, and it is something that needs to be done. So this is a first step to try and just figure out and get permitting out there so we know who and where they're being sold. There's some good legislation that has gone through health and welfare regarding trying to address our opioid addiction issues and opioid treatments. So excited to see those have passed out, and they are on the House floor. So we are really trying to get a comprehensive view. We know the issue is huge, and trying to create some good legislation that will help us get a handle on that and get the right treatment to the people that really need that treatment. An interesting thing I didn't know about that currently exists, the Idaho Secretary of State, you can upload your advanced healthcare directives there, and they have a banking system there. So your end of life decisions and how you want to be treated medical care wise, your advanced healthcare directives, essentially living wills, can all be uploaded and stored at our Secretary of State site. Now, we had a new bill that was brought forward to work on moving that over to health and welfare, where it can be a bi-directional and can be more accessible to hospitals, emergency healthcare providers, and everyone, so they can access those directives when needed. But right now, it exists on our Secretary of State's website. I didn't even know that. So if you do have a living will or a healthcare directive on that you want, you can go in there. It's free. You can upload it, and they will send you a card with your login number and your passcode. So I would urge everyone to do that. If we then move it over to the Department of Health and Welfare with this new bi-directional approach, your files will just be transferred directly right over there. So pretty exciting thing. Lots going on. I'm sorry I went a little longer this week because it's just so much going on with property taxes. It's very vital. It's really important to all citizens, and we are really trying down at the Capitol to try and find some solutions for you. Hope you all have a great week, and take care. I will be back next week to give you more update on what's going on. Thanks so much. Have a great one.